Hello guys, it's the Bear here, and today I'm gonna do a review about KXIN and how I traded this ticket. Okay, so first thing, this in the pre-market, KXIN was one of the main gappers, okay? And my process when I see anything gaps up, it's the same exact steps that I talked on my webinar with Austin and on my annual webinar that I did on the annual bootcamp, MIC bootcamp, okay? So I checked the daily chart and I've seen this thing ran before from $1 around $1 all the way to 13. And then I checked the volume for each of these candles. This candle was traded around 235 million. So in this case, I know the higher probability there's so much supply on this name, okay? And this supply comes from the people who bought it and chased it on this day, and they are now underwater. They want to sell, okay? They want to sell on any gap. So what I do first, I will go back to the day to draw my levels, and I want to make sure to check where the potential bug holders are. Okay, so I go back here and I draw my levels. There's 950, around 950. So all these guys are trapped, and we have another level here over 7. So the plan was to wait for for the move to top out over 6, ideally 7, for me to start shorting. Okay, so in pre-market what happened is it went parabolic from 3 all the way to 530 to 524, and then it stopped. What I said even in the MIC main chat, I was waiting for another squeeze up, which is to ideally over 7. But what happened is already it gave me the range I wanted. Okay, so around here it was up over 70-80%, and there's like $2 $2.50 range on the upside. So there's a big potential for an all-day fade. So the plan was to wait, and I was waiting, and also while I'm waiting, I'm drawing my levels. Okay, I'm drawing my levels where the support lines are, the resistance. In case it confirms, I know where to enter and also where to add. I'm also going to talk about how I'm adding to my winners, and how I determine my price targets where I want to cover. Okay, so as the chart was forming, I was drawing my levels. First, we have what happened is when it topped out here, I draw the high, the pre-market high. Obviously, it's 524, and then when it stuffed under VWAP and here it consolidated, it went over and then under and so on. So I draw this level 421. So for me, 421, 420 line was the main support in pre-market, which is basically the deadline. Okay, which is the deadline. So then I was, and meanwhile here I was hoping for this thing to squeeze more, like to 556. What happened is it reclaimed VWAP and it went all the way to 5, and then the chat room started trying to pump it. When they enter here, it squeezed a little bit, squeezed a little, and then it stopped. So here there was some big selling pressure. Okay, even the chat room, they couldn't squeeze it. So what I was waiting for it. When I've seen this candle and this candle here, I was waiting for a stuff. If it stuffed one level, one candle, and then another stuff under 5. 5 is an important number. Okay, when it stuffed 5, the plan was to start shorting. I want to short and scale all the way up to the new pre-market high, which is 533. If in case it squeezed over 533, I'm gonna cut it straight away, maximum 533. 532 I will get out. Okay, so this is what I did. I started here. Okay, before I start, I want to talk about the price targets. Okay, the price targets are basically how I'm doing it is from the pre-market chart. same as these lines. I want to use the outer support line. It's the same idea behind what we are doing at MIC regarding shorting. Let's say you want to short at an outer line or inner line, or okay. So there's also, it works vice versa. It works also for the supports. There are inner support lines and outer support lines. So this is 370. This level here, this level here was the outer support line for me. Okay, so between 370 to 390, this is the zone. This is the last level where I want to cover. Okay, let's go circle here. This this level here. Okay, this is the zone. This is the area where I want to cover everything. If it confirmed, and then I will start shorting and then to cover there. Okay, so let's go here. These are the cover areas. Okay. Yeah, so basically that's what I'm doing. It's the same thing. It's the same idea behind shorting the outer lines. You're waiting, you place your fantasy orders at the best levels. I am covering here. I do this only on the all-day fader potential, okay, which is they have a range and they can fade. They have a higher probability to fade to the outer lines. If they don't have a range, then I'm using inner lines. Okay, this is an inner support line. Okay, this is an inner support line. And for example, this level here, this level here, this was a resistance, and then when it broke, it becomes support. Okay, and let's say you shorted here, you want to cover here because this one now is an inner support line. After it stuffs, it becomes an inner resistance line, and this is an outer line. Okay, these are the outer lines. This is an after it's stuffed, under, this will become a resistance, but it's an inner resistance line. It's not the outer. It's the same concept. It happens with the support and the resistance. Okay, so let's delete to make it clear here. Let's delete this one. So now we have 533, and as I said, if when it's stuffed this level, I want to see $5 to stuff, and then any pops I'm gonna start shorting. So as soon as it's stuffed, I started some here, and they added on the pop. Okay, or in the pop at 505, 506, around that, and I'm giving it a room to add more at 520 and cut over 533. But as soon as it opened, it's stuffed here. Chat room, they bought it, but it's stuffed, so he sold. And now as soon as it stuffed this level 480, I added more because now there are new longs who chase it here. They're underwater, so I start shorting. And also it's stuffed VWAP is very critical level uh, to short into. So as soon as it's stuffed, view up, I start adding. Okay, and then we have another level here. So this is what I'm doing while I'm adding to winner. In this case it was extreme. Okay, this case it was, I'm adding heavy here, but in case if let's say it's squeezed back up, I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut all the added size more than my full size at a break even, and then what I do is I keep my original full size to risk my max dollar amount. So if you let's say you want to work on your adding to winners, the key is first you need the range, okay, in order to add. And then let's say you added full size, and then you added more than your full size. Let's say your full size is 1000 shares. Okay, you shorted 500 here, and then you added 500 here. Now you have around an average 495. Okay, this is your full size. Let's say you're risking now here the high 507. As soon as it breaks the high, you need to cut it. Okay, and let's say it confirmed more and it's stuffed under, and you want to add now, because now you're already on full size 1000 shares, and then you want to add more. So in order to maximize your winners, you're gonna add more. Let's say you added more 20% of your full size, which is you added 200 shares. Now, as soon as it gets back to break even average, the key is to cut, in my opinion, the safest way to do it is to cut the added shares, which is 200 at break even, and you cut your 1000 at your max risk per trade. So that's, for me, that's how I'm doing it. First, I started here 50% of my size, and then I added here. And on the second ads, I was in full size. I was what I was risking. I was risking over reclaim of VWAP and max if it broke the high of the day, which is here, which is high of the day was 505. Okay, that was my risk. And then what happened when it stuffed hard here, I added more than full size. Now I'm in more than full size, but all the ads I'm risking at break even, break even, and leaving the main full size uh, at my max dollar risk per trade. So here I kept that. This is very rare case, okay, because I kept adding too much, and then as soon as it stopped here, I added more. So now I was around 2x my size, okay, more than double full size. But I was risking break even. As I said, I'm keeping the same dollar amount for the main position and risking nothing for the extra size. In case it works, I'm gonna win more. Okay, I'm gonna maximize this. Maximize on this trade. If wrong, I'm gonna cut the extra size and then lose on the main, which is the normal max size. So the thing, what I was waiting is, I was waiting for stuff. 420 was the deadline. I said if it's stuffed deadline, then I'm gonna add more on the pop. I try as soon as it's stuffed, I placed orders here, but they didn't get filled. So as soon as it stuffed more, and it came close to my price targets, which is here, which is around between 390 to 370. Start scaling out. I scaled out here at 394, 395, around 20%. I scaled out 10%, 20% of my total position. Okay, and the plan was any pop back to 420, which is now the resistance, which is the deadline. I'm gonna add back these covers and more because I want to get to 3x my size. Okay, but these final ads, I was risking everything at break even. My average was around here. Okay, so what I'm doing now, I locked in some gains, around 20% of my shares, and I'm risking nothing. Okay, so at worst case scenario, I'm gonna end it green, but not as much as if it was a winner because I covered only 20%, but it broke the deadline, so it have very high probability to not breach that level or for the squeeze. But in case it's squeezed, because all its probability, we know it works around 70 to 80%. So I had my stop in mind to break even. So what I did, as soon as it started popping, I kept adding. So I kept adding. I re-add the 20%, and I added another full size, which is now I'm 3 times my full size on this trade. And what happened here, I got lucky. It stuffed so fast after all the ads, and I start covering because now it's on my zone, on my cover levels. Okay, on these lines between 390 to 370. I covered here half of it, and then the rest on the next wash. So yeah, that's how I traded it. And the key to adding to winners, okay, because I'm getting lots of DMs regarding how I'm adding to winners. The key to adding to winners, first of all, you need range. If the range is so tight, you can it's the probability you're gonna stop out very very high. And another thing for a new guy, you don't need to add this aggressive, okay? If let's say you are new, okay, let's say you are new and you want to add, okay, first of all, we wait for the stuff candles, okay, as a signal to enter. Let's say it's stopped under VWAP. You start shorting here for 80, for 90, risking the high of the day. Okay, now you have your full size around here, around VWAP for 80. Let's say for 80, you're risking 505. Then the next ad you want to do is you wait for the deadline. You wait for the deadline to stuff, and then when it pops here, you add. You either want to double your size, it's up to you what you want to add. You add here, and then now you have an average of 2x your size, and you're risking 450. If in case it popped back up to 450, you are risking break even. You're gonna cut it. But if you know yourself, you are not very disciplined at cutting your losses, never add to a winner. Just trade your full size only, and don't get over your full size, because as soon as it reclaim and it reverse, if you don't cut it, the loss is gonna be huge. They're gonna be bigger than your full size. So sometimes you can get stuck, you freeze or whatever, and you don't cut it, the loss is going to be so big, and even mentally like hard to recover. Okay, so before you start adding to winner, you're doing anything, just practice like small size, your normal size, and if you earn the right to add to winners based on your previous trades, if you're so good at cutting your losses, you're respecting your risk, then you can experiment with this style. Okay, this style, it requires patience, because the key is to stay patient, and you trust your process for your targets, and you wait. But the probability is lower, because if you want just to nail and bail, you can use these levels and just nail and bail between them. The probability is much higher, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. You just try to experiment different styles and see what works for you. This style is working for me, because I used to I trade day one gappers, use the ADS, but now recently I'm working on how to maximize this setup. Okay, so in order for me to maximize this setup, I need to add to a winner. Sometimes aggressively, sometimes lighter. It depends about the range and the quality of the setup. Okay, and how many bag holders they're stuck on average. And so yeah, so basically that's how I'm doing it. That's how I'm working on the ads. It's very simple, guys. It's just the pre-market levels, the pre-market lines that we use, like the support, resistance. We draw them, and then I add on each support breakdown. Let's do a quick review. Okay, first we have a line here. Okay, line here. So as soon as it's stuffed here, I started shorting. First, I use wider risk. Okay, if the range is high to the pre-market high, I adjust my share size and I scale in accordingly. First, I use wider range. Then, when it starts confirming and I'm adding, I'm tightening my levels to risk off to maximize the reward out of it. Okay, so as soon as it stuffed 480 plus VWAP was around 486, this level here, this level, okay, this, this, okay, as soon as it stuffed this support plus VWAP, I start adding, double it in, which is now full size, and then when it stuffed this level here, another level here, it's stuffed here, I added on pops. Okay, I added more on pops, and again, when it broke to new highs and it popped back up, I added 450. Now I'm adding here another here I doubled again. Okay, so that's how I'm doing it. I'm waiting for each level to break down and then pops to add. Okay, but the way I did it here, it was very aggressive. Okay, and there's a higher chance it's gonna pop back up, and I'm gonna cut all the ads. Okay, to on my average. So, but as a beginner, in my opinion, let's say you started here on the VWAP stuff, you wait if you want to trade this line. Okay, if you don't, then you need to cover here, because this is the main support. You need to cover here, and then you wait if it's tough, and then you reshort again. But let's say you want to maximize, and this style works for you. You want to add to winning. You start the most reasonable way, I mean, and the easiest way to do it is stuff under VWAP. You short, risking high of the day, not pre-market high. Now we have a high of the day set. After this stuff, you risk that level, and you wait. Okay, you wait. You stay patient. You wait. You wait. If, let's say, like in this case, it's stuff that line. Now it's confirmed. It's confirmed. It's toasted. High probability, 80% of the time, it's done, and it's gonna fade more. Okay, to the previous to the outer pre-market support lines. So you wait on these pops, you add, you double down your position, and now you have a great average. Your average should be around 445, 450, around this level, around this area, and you risk break even now. Okay, you risk break even, and if it's stuffed to, and if it faded to your price targets, you cover, and now you may bigger, more reward to risk on this trade because you added, you double down your position. This is the safest way and the easier way, in my opinion. You do one double add after the total confirmation from the deadline. So yeah, basically, this is it. This is regarding adding to winners and how I adjust my risk. In summary, while I'm adding, I'm risking the same dollar amount. Okay, so if I'm in, let's say, full size, then whatever I'm adding on the way down, I only add on the money. I never add to a loser unless I'm scaling in my first position. Okay. So when it's going lower and it's confirming, I add, but I'm risking all the extra add over my full size at break even average, and then I will let the rest of my normal full size to get to my risk. Let's say I'm risking a max dollar amount to that trade, I will cut it. So when I'm right, I'm gonna make more, and if I'm wrong, I'm just gonna lose the same dollar amount. But the key is patient on the ads. You need to wait for the ads. Notice how I didn't chase it. I was shorting on pops only. Look, I didn't chase here. I waited. I waited for the pop back to 420 and I shorted. This is the thing. It needs practice, needs screen time to know and to understand it more. And you can paper trade it. You can trade on demand to practice more. And yeah, and always when you try to experiment new styles or any new trade management techniques, you just need to start small. Okay, don't go too big because one mistake or one black swan, this thing could squeeze back up. Who knows, man? Who knows? I know I'm right 7 out of 10 times. This setup works 70 to 80%. Okay, so that's why I'm using two strike rule, and that's it. So yeah, you need the only thing we know before you get into the trade is how much we're gonna lose. So you need to predetermine that amount and trade accordingly. Okay, if you have any question, if you have any question regarding anything that I do, please DM me. I'm always available at my investing club. Thank you guys, and I hope this little overview will help you. Thank you.